Hey, stop banging your head. Stop banging your head. Stop banging your head on that.
What we have here is a good movie. If you somehow don't know what One Battle After Another is, you'd be confused to find out that saying it's a good movie is a problematic statement. And the reason I've chosen to cover this again, knowing it will bring me nothing but anguish, is because so few people have. To get the folks who don't want to listen out of here immediately, I'll just say it wasn't the best movie of 2025. I'm not even going to debate that, saying it's the best movie was decided pretty much immediately, and that's simply not the case. Top 5, top 10, debatable, but like I said, it's definitely not a bad movie. What I want to put here is a proposition that even Jim Morrison would have an issue putting forth, reviewing a movie, analyzing it in a way that isn't politically biased.
He's acting all crazy!
You see, my friends who haven't clicked off yet, that's kind of the idea. Even though Paul Thomas Anderson made little effort to promote the themes at hand, I think he wanted money from both sides. The premise about a group, the French 75, liberating immigrants, robbing banks to get that done, various other activities, pretty much became all that mattered for the film reviewers. Aside from Jeremy Jahns, who actually reviewed the movie and didn't readily hand out one of his 2 best ratings, I couldn't find that many reviews that didn't lean heavily in one of 2 directions. Maybe Chris Stuckman, I'm not sure. I really enjoy watching a review that's the equivalent of nothing. He must have liked it, given he reviewed it. Let's just see here, here we go. Chris Stuckman, top 10 best movies, and it is second best movie. Could have been worse. The point I'm trying to make is that's not film reviewing. Politics, no matter how strong the opinion, how to the times they may feel, how in the direction you may lean, you don't go online or any kind of site and rate the movie based on that. I hate to keep going back to Stuckman, but if somebody like that can still have an audience with literal sponsors like gambling apps and modern-day loan sharks, not to mention everything else wrong with them now, the ones of us who are still with it, have to accept overly obedient fans are a thing. I'm not talking about the Golden Globes, I could literally care less. I'm talking about people being told it's literally the best thing ever and spending money on it because they trust them. Again, it's by no means a bad movie, but if you're gonna recommend something, you have to consider the audience who may have limited funds to spend on movies. Now keep in mind, if you want to be political and judge based on that, that's your prerogative. I just don't do it. I accept those on the right aren't gonna like this that much, and those on the left are gonna like it more, but I don't think that should be the defining factor. Now, I don't advocate violence, nor do I believe this movie does. If it did, it'd be a different discussion, but your personal opinions don't concern me. I don't believe politics play any role in a movie review, and I don't really believe celebrities need to get into that either. It just leads to issues. Notable names like Billy Bob Thornton, or recently Sydney Sweeney, who just want to make good movies, entertaining movies, I kinda commend that. And even Damien Leone refuses to make Terrifier political. Can you even imagine? And the fact is, nobody cares. We're meant to think it's a big group who demands this shit. They're gonna boycott American Eagle, claim her movies failed as a result, then The Housemaid comes out, that's gotta sting. Even got some Terrifier 4 boycotts out there. I say have fun, but I'm not gonna be a part of that, and if you are, you're not a fan of movies, and you're definitely not a critic. I'm gonna analyze this truthfully, and give it a real fair opinion. What a concept. And to those who still think they know my political opinions based on my movie opinions, did you even stop to think about how stupid that is? Why would I cover this movie once, let alone twice, for that reason? I could so easily say it's awful, or it's a masterpiece, and get a hell of a lot of credit either way, because that's just the way things are now. I'm completely aware they're nut jobs who think they're geniuses, who will leave their stupid comments to feel big for a few seconds, in the same vein as donating $5 to a millionaire streamer. So that being said, here's the real analysis of the movie, one battle after another. Hope you enjoy. Like I said, the focus are the French 75, who are currently liberating illegal immigrants. DiCaprio and Teyana Taylor are playing the important members, Ghetto Pat Callahan and Perfidia Beverly Hills. Some crazy names in this. The rest don't bear mentioning. They're not going to be around too long. What does bear mentioning is the other character in this.
What's your name, dickhead?
I'm Captain Stephen J. Lockjaw.
Sean Penn as Stephen J. Lockjaw being his real name, not made up, in a movie with DiCaprio is the most overdone thing in this.
Imposterous.
He's kind of the combination of so right-winged it's beyond noticeable, and just overly stupid. That's clearly done deliberately, but given the message you're trying to convey, you'd think they'd treat this with a bit more realism. Just look at his first scene.
Since we playing, get it up. Good boy.
He's basically a big joke with no redeemable qualities whatsoever. That's not gonna change. I don't believe it's the kind of writing a movie like this should have. Given it's such a long movie, it should be something more realistic. But I will say the scene does set the right tone. At least for him. If it was the entire movie's tone, that'd be an issue. But Lockjaw is the weakest character in this.
Been captured by the French 75! Bitches work now! Fuck the police! Leonardo!
As you can see, DiCaprio is again playing DiCaprio. I do enjoy his acting here, but like anything else he's in, you get the sense of over-exaggerated. Like he's trying too hard to be that character. With the exception of Tarantino movies because it's kind of the idea there, but as the film goes on, it does start to fit. The question is, does the intro fit? And by intro I mean the first act of the movie, in which they proceed to do what they do. Beverly gets pregnant, Lockjaw clearly has other intentions, and the undeniable fact that while liberating some funds, she ends up killing this guard, leading to a big chase, her being caught, and the group being disbanded. She then names a lot of names for her freedom, and then leaves the movie for good. Leading into Act 2, the highlight, or as I would say, the rest of the movie, but I need to explain why Act 1 wasn't that great. The main issue is too much happens too quickly. Aside from DiCaprio and Penn, nothing really affects the rest of the movie. It's just a setup. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, yeah, that's the idea, but in this case, they could have literally cut all this out, and you'd still know what's going on. Bob Ferguson, that's his new name, along with Lockjaw, don't really change. Ferguson may eventually. But if the movie began right here, him trying to protect his daughter, events being set in motion, again, the audience could have probably put 2 and 2 together. Let's not forget the opening exceeds a half hour, and if it was really, really good, that'd be one thing, but I don't know if it is. The way they handle Perfidia is problematic. Again, it's not the acting, it's how rushed it is. She goes from being pregnant to dissatisfied to just not caring, becomes a traitor after a botched job that she caused, and then leaves the movie. This would be unexpectedly daring writing, but it just happens too quickly. Like it's kind of a montage. When you think about it, her actions are pretty awful, by no means justified. She's not really redeemable, and the movie makes that clear. I appreciate the hell out of that. So often her passes, willingly given, it's so frustrating. I just wish it wasn't done this quickly, and something else didn't happen at the end of the movie. We'll get to that. Maybe if the intro wasn't so obsessed with sex and profanity.
My name is Jungle Pussy.
Again, that's all well and good, but the focus should have been these two and how it all went wrong. There's just no development, it happens, that's it, and that's why the first act feels like a different movie. You may find it odd that I like her character direction, but also say cut the act completely, but there is a way to have the best of both worlds. Instead of showing everything, flashbacks. How perfect would that have been? Use flashbacks to explain the plot as we go. That way the pacing is automatically fixed, the movie potentially isn't as long, and the character who has the most daring arc isn't crammed in to around 10 minutes. If they had just done that, I'd be very close to saying the movie's rating is warranted. I do want to clarify again, I like where they're going with it. In fact, I really like it. It's just not executed the best. Even her agreeing to give them up happens way too easily, and the overuse of profanity doesn't help that much either. It just gives off the wrong message. The way the robbery goes wrong is kind of forced. What even happened here? Why is this cop so stupid? But I will say, even to the die-hard Republican, who somehow accidentally went to see this, the action may just sell it. Yeah, the chase scene is really good, extremely realistic, as are any of the movie's action set pieces. It may be what led to the somewhat disappointing box office, but in this day and age, that's par for the course. So while Act 1 is far from what the reviews led me to expect, stuff like this is really damn good. Anyway, cutting ahead 16 years, the focus is now on Bob Ferguson and his daughter Charlene, renamed Willa. But Ferguson has kind of turned into a paranoid stoner, so it's gonna make for some entertainment. Like I said when this came out, pathetic DiCaprio is the best DiCaprio. You can't deny it.
It's dice, sweetie.
What?
It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You're right. That's something I gotta remember.
Bobo.
Bobo. Now, is that a he or a she or a they?
Dad, come on.
Yeah, the movie is actually really funny too. The comedy from this point on is really consistent.
Tell you something, whatever you do to her, I'm gonna do that exact same thing to your entire fucking family. I'm not fucking around.
So if you don't like the ideals, at least you have that. Ah yes, now we have the real stars. Chase Infiniti plays Willa in her debut role, and Benicio del Toro as Sergio St. Carlos. Unfortunately, Del Toro isn't in enough of this, like notably not enough, and that's too bad because he's real entertaining. But I'm just gonna say it, the Golden Globe should have gone to Chase Infiniti. I don't think that's a problematic statement. She's basically tied with DiCaprio for the lead. Given how great her performance is, I'd say it deserved the win, opposed to somebody who's only in a fraction of the movie. I really don't get that. Either way, great additions, the only ones who truly stand out. Anyhow, Lockjaw, now a prominent member of the US military, has been given a special invite to join a white supremacist secret society known as the Christmas Adventures Club. I'm not saying it doesn't have meaning, so let me know. The only inherent issue is, given what they're all about, the whole sex with a black woman is not okay, so he kind of just stretches the truth about that for the time being, and puts stuff into motion to potentially deal with that loose end, being Willa, who definitely isn't his. This leads to a distress signal going off upon retaining Howard, a French 75 member, but unfortunately she's going out with her friends that very night and is sure nobody's coming for them. So some people do complain about wanting to join a white supremacist club being the main catalyst. In my case, I don't mind if it's the movie okay. Not the greatest piece of storytelling, but I don't have an issue with it. She gets taken to safety by Danger, another member, but Bob isn't doing quite as good.
Well, I don't remember the fucking greeting code because I got a little bit high.
That's a taste of comedy this movie offers, in many ways. It's the real highlight. Possibly a bold claim, but not as bold as me saying, this is when the movie really begins. I mean, this scene alone really sets the right mood. The escape is suspenseful, the music is perfectly fitting. Love that piano. And when he tries to call about the rendezvous point, you know what, I lied. This may be the best scene in this. Basically, he forgot the code. What it is doesn't matter. DiCaprio may occasionally overdo it, but we have golden stuff here.
I don't remember any more of this code speak. I only remember half of this shit and this stupid fucking hotline, which is a fucking miracle. Do you understand that, you fucking retard? You called me. I need to find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
You just fucking hang up on me, you fucking liberal fucking prick.
It's not the end of it. It only gets better. That said, it's not the reason I say it's the best part of the movie. It's more so about the flow. For a long time, we primarily stick with Bob. He eventually gets help from Carlos, who is debatably the best character in this. But it's the way they play off each other and all the unexpected moments that makes the middle section easily the most memorable.
Hey, get up the phone! Get up the phone! Come on the phone, man!
Like even this brief running gag about charging the phone adds so much personality, a genuine feel. I wish the movie could have opened stuff like this. And then he finally figures out the code and gets through, and it's DiCaprio at his best. I don't want to go crazy with showing clips, but I gotta show a few.
Hello.
Hi, prick. Give me the fucking coordinates now.
Sorry.
Oh, you want to formally say you're sorry, huh? What was the fucking password, by the way, you fucking prick?
Oh, fuck you!
You fucking moron. Fuck you! You obviously don't have kids, you fucking idiot!
I'll tell you what, if you can get past the politics, just watch this scene. In a way, it's enough. So upon escaping, they separate, Bob utilizing the rooftops, which goes well. It could have been worse. Maybe it couldn't be worse. To make things worse, Willa lied about not having a phone because we need somebody to not use logic in this. No, I don't have a phone. I'm gonna give you that idea. It's ridiculous, so quit wasting time and hit the like button and subscribe down below. Also, I cover new movies on the Cinema Analyst channel, video game stuff on the gaming channel. You can find those links in the description. Anyway, Willa kind of finds out her mom was a rat, and that's an issue. Apparently, she didn't know that. And the new character coming in relatively late, Tim Smith, part of the Christmas Adventures Club, is called in because a lot of suspicious things have gone down, being Lockjaw's recent activities. I guess they noticed. And they kind of have intel about the Black Daughter, which isn't okay, so he kind of, well, you get the idea.
Lockjaw got his dick dirty.
We felt it.
Make it clean.
It is kind of odd throwing in a new character and giving us this revelation so late in the movie, but it does fit into the chaotic vibe. I don't mind it, but I'd like to know a bit more about who Tim is, just because he's kind of a nobody. Anyway, Bob isn't in custody that long, he's easily freed, meaning more Del Toro scenes, you can't go wrong there. But still, being caught doesn't really affect anything, and at this point, the pacing, it does start to bother me a bit. In a similar vein, Willa is immediately found too. She kind of just got there. I don't know what they could have done about this issue, but it's back to what I said about the intro being too long. Some brief flashbacks could have fixed this. It broke up the pacing. Like I said before, Sean Penn is the weakest in this because he's so deliberately unlikable. You could argue everybody is aside from Del Toro, but it's hard to completely take seriously.
Why is your shirt so tight?
I'm not gay, if that's what you're saying.
I didn't say that.
I'm not a homosexual.
We get it. You're far right. So after a test, his daughter, she is, meaning bad things must happen, but we do get another of one of the funniest lines in this.
I am a Christmas adventurer. You know what that is? I have a higher calling.
I don't have any words. As for the Del Toro DiCaprio combo, that has to end. I find it hard to believe the cops don't look into this. They later mention they did notice, but now the climax really kicks into gear, and it's not the best.
I raised an a-hole!
Look, on one hand, I like how the events play out in a realistic manner. It feels unedited, genuine. I think it's why so many people like it. But then you have the loose ends, like Danger or even Carlos, who kind of just leave the movie. Again, that kind of writing does fit the tone, but you think we'd get something else. It's debatable. And then we have Avanti, who Lockjaw hires to kill Willa. Don't know why he can't just do it. He doesn't seem to have any conscience. But then she gets out of this because Avanti decides he can't go through with it, and he gets killed in a shootout. So it really must have been some change of heart. It's just too convenient, it's plot armor, it's not the worst thing ever, but for a movie like this, I don't see it happening this way. It's not what I expect. Speaking of plot armor...
Hey, what?
He's not dead. A shotgun blast to the face and that collision, and he's somehow not dead. I can't get past that. What I do really like, though, is how it ends. Tim still has to kill Willa, but she outsmarts him by exploiting the blind summit that I did not see coming, and I'm very relieved we did not have Bob showing up and killing Tim. Instead, she does it herself, which is extremely important to the overall message, and not the cliche you expect. Don't quite know why she doesn't know who Bob is. I guess stress. But the actual conclusion, that's a mixed bag. In the case of Lockjaw, it's hilarious. He claims that he was raped in reverse while unconscious because his sperm is so desirable.
A semen demon. That's correct.
Just montages bits. It's a fucking movie. And they tell him, sure, we believe that. Welcome to the club. Only to have him immediately gassed after and incinerated. It may not be the best written, but it's the perfect ending. In fact, it's
a fine idea.
However, I'm gonna call cop out on the rest. First off, the letter from Perfidia Bob had throughout the entire movie, and I expect better. It's the basic stuff, I'm sorry, I'll return someday, keep on fighting the good fight, and it completely undermines her character. It puts an unneeded happy spin on it, one that's not deserved. I just don't see why they have to do that. She isn't even in most of the movie. It's so unjustified. You can't tell me that's a good scene. Bucket. And the ending when she heads out to Oakland to protest kind of hammers home it's not a two-sided movie. Some people still think that because a lot of them are arrested or killed, meaning don't do this. But again, the message is clear. I don't really have an issue with that, but there is a message. I find it baffling so many people deny that. It is what it is. If you don't like it, don't talk about it, but that's finally it for one battle after another. I think you get the gist. By now I'm sick of it. Even if I gave it a 10 out of 10, I'd still be sick of it. It shows off a side of people I wish wasn't still a thing, but given I have a gaming channel too, I know how that works. It's not nice in that realm. One thing I will note that I do respect about it is how the message doesn't go beyond the story, doesn't go above the characters, and that's the main thing. So no matter what you think, no matter what you believe, you can still enjoy the movie, just maybe not as much. I don't love the half-hour intro. The ending isn't perfect, but it's okay. The middle section is superb. The acting, music, action set pieces, hilarious dry comedy, and just unique directing style makes me really annoyed when the right automatically hate the movie and pass it off as nothing but propaganda. In the same vein, the left isn't right either. Most of the cons are ignored. You still can't do that, it's wrong, and it's not the best movie of last year. It's not perfect either, but it's really good. If that's problematic, then do as you will. It's a movie I like a lot, but not the greatest thing in existence. This has been a fair analysis, a real review. You don't find too many of those on this. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, it's still just a movie.